Do you know why we are so afraid of losing? We are so afraid of losing because losing is a humiliation ritual in our society. Losing is a humiliation ritual in our society for success, for getting to your next level, for your new frontier, for your upgrade, for your level up. Losing is all a part of that. Losing requires you to think and feel everything so publicly, because if you felt it privately, did you lose? If you didn't fall in front of everyone, did you really fall? Right? We have made losing a sport, a popular sport, an Olympic level sport. And instead of comparing who's winning, we compare who's losing. Instead of understanding that losing is both a public and a private, but above all, a very spiritual matter, we enthrall people with the idea that if you're not losing on the world stage, if you're not making it big, if you're not falling flat on your face, if you're not making it known that you're trying something new and you're going to fail because you're trying something new over and over and over again and you're going to fail, like, we praise people who've gone through the humiliation of losing. We praise people who've gone through the humiliation of losing. Those are the biggest stories. Those are the biggest turnarounds, right? And if you lost in private, you are trying your very best to make it known in public that you lost. Losing is much deeper than a humiliation ritual, though. Because the first thing to actually understanding that you lost in a past tense, like you lost, is that you have to complete the action. You cannot midway then denote or say out loud, oh, I'm losing. No, you have to actually just lose the game. We don't care that you were losing the game the whole time prior. You actually have to lose the game. You lost. And then you can acknowledge it. I lost. And that's what people are really trying to see, if everyone is bold enough, proud enough to say it out loud. Are you bold enough to say you lost? Are you bold enough to say you were wrong? Are you bold enough to state that you didn't do it right? People want to see people stand up and take accountability. But in a world where we like people to say that they're wrong, but we hate hearing them say, I'm sorry for that, could you please forgive me? And we further condemn, further isolate, further cause them. It's like, so what was the whole point of asking them to take accountability? They took accountability. And when you realize that you're falling into the trap of oh, I have to lose publicly, I have to shame myself publicly for my loss. No, 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 no. People want you to say, I lost, and take accountability for that. Nothing else, nothing more. And if you are able to hold yourself to a standard where you easily and quickly and efficiently and effectively define for yourself my loss, and my gains, you will be magnanimous. But the same swiftness that society and people want for you to identify your losses, they do not want you to identify your wins. They do not want you to be cavalier. They do not want you to be Mrs. Loud and proud about it. No, take your wins in silence, right? Move in silence. That's when the move in silence shit starts coming up. But lose in public. I say to you, decide for yourself if you're going to live your life silently or if you're going to live your life out loud. Both has pros and cons, and both of them have great experiences to offer you. And know that in the middle of whichever path you choose, you can switch to the other path. You have freedom to share this part, but not that part. You have freedom to be silent for 10 plus years and be out loud for 6 months. You have the full range to be out loud for eons and eons to come, but then at the last minute to be quiet and be silent. You have the full range, the full power. Don't allow people to goofball you into saying your loses out loud, saying this out loud. Like, who are they? If you want to take an L out loud or in private, just take the L. That's what I want you to get at. Are you taking the L? Don't get caught up in the ritual. Get caught up in just taking the L. Learning the lesson. Did you learn the lesson? Can you identify how you did not impact and did not show yourself in the way that you wanted to now? And that's something that people also don't take into account. Taking an L, taking a loss, learning a lesson takes time. It's not something that will happen in a matter of a couple minutes or a couple hours after the experience, after the interaction, after the relationship ends, after you leave your job. Like, that's not how it works. You're going to experience it in inconsistent amounts, and you won't see the full picture of what the lesson is until probably many years later. In believing that you have to abide by other people's expectations of you, you lose out in actually learning and assuming the power in the role of your life. When you're playing by other people's expectations, when you're playing by other people's rules, rituals, ideas, whatever, you lose track of where your power lies. Your power does not lie in placating them. Your power does not lie in acting out whatever twisted fantasy they want to make up for you. Your power lies in deciding, moving, acting, rerouting your own life. And the reason why losing feels like a humiliation ritual is because there's so much shame around losing. It's the same shame you feel whenever, like, you lie. It's the same shame that you feel whenever you were, corrected as a child. It still holds that weight. Because you're expecting everyone to say, well, I told you so, and you didn't listen to me, and da 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 da. But as we now know, people are not bold enough to say it to your face. They're loud enough to say it behind your back, but definitely not bold enough to say it to your face with the same conviction that you have in saying, I was wrong, I messed up, I lost. Processing through that internal shame that you have around losing and what it means to lose is a huge part in understanding that, did you lose or were you rerouted? Did you lose or did you change your mind? Did you lose or were you just impatient? It adds more of a nuanced, truer identity to the loss. It's not just, oh, I lost. No, I was maybe a little emotional about this. I didn't allow time and space. I was maybe a little too rushed. Or at the time, that was the good decision for me, but now I want to change my mind. So was it really a loss, or did you just change your mind again? This weight that we feel in losing, in winning, in success is false. It's not actually real. The weight you feel in your heart, in your body, in your mind, when you think about your success or lack thereof of success, it's not real. It is something that you have placed on yourself based off of the teachings, the ideas, the expectations from your culture, from your family, from society, that you have pulled through to decide for yourself that you want to abide by this XYZ state of thinking. So then when XYZ doesn't happen, you then have to put on the cloak of shame and dishonor and confusion. That is really what is shame. And that's the shame you feel about losing. The loss itself is not the humiliation. It's everything attached to the loss, about the loss, for the loss. The fuller picture is the humiliation. But when you start deconstructing and eliminating core beliefs, ideas, expectations, linear trajectory thinking, and begin to assume a state where I don't actually have to go through A, then B, then C to get to Z. I can actually skip some steps. I can actually go backwards. I can actually go side to side. I can actually do all these other options because I allow my mind to show me multiple options, multiple paths, and highlight the quickest, easiest, most aligned path for me. It's a fine line to teeter between just processing your emotions and fully flatlining and thinking you're a failure. But the more you process your emotions, the more you build up that resistance to just flatline and just fall back into, oh, I failed. Oh, it's over. I lost. Whatever. Look at my life. Right? The giving up, the loser, the victim. Because that is the deeper level of crabs of a bucket that society is fiending to see you fall back into. Because when you decide to be a victim, you're basically deciding to be like everyone else. And everyone else is a failure. Everyone else is a loser. Everyone else is a fraud. But the moment that you decide to say, you know what, like, yeah, I messed up, but why do I think I actually messed up? Like, when you actually get into the roots, the core of it all, you'll, one, find out, majority of the time, you actually didn't mess up. You actually didn't lose. And secondly, if you remain on the path of processing versus falling back into, oh, well, it's over, whatever, which is a harder path to stay on because majority are not on that path. And everyone around you will make it known that you are a failure and a loser, but it won't resonate because you no longer associate yourself with those things because you have chosen the path of, let me process, let me see the nuances, let me learn the lesson, let me stay aligned. It is a harder path. It is a deeper path. It is a shadow path, especially in a society that loves the victim. We love the victim. We love the victim as, in essence, as a figure of our imagination. We love the victim. But in reality, when we actually meet real victims of real circumstances, real failures on multiple people's parts, we don't like them, we don't care about them, we don't want to help them. It's like the nice girl, right? We love the nice person and the figment of our mind, but when we actually meet someone who's nice, we don't like them. We don't care about them. We don't think they have the confidence, the factor to really do what we believe they could do. You must decide daily, multiple times a day, are you going to play the victim in the humiliation ritual that you are meant to play per societal expectations? Or are you going to be the frontier person? Are you going to be on the cusp? Are you going to decide to commit, continue to trudge forward, align, and still be an explorer? Because losing is not a bad thing. The cloak of shame that you're forced to or expected to put on is the humiliation ritual. And people want you to keep it on until you make quote unquote big time success, to not even fully take it off, but to just let the hood down for a little bit so the sun can shine on your face. Because people will always remember, always remind you, oh, well, you started as this, you started at this, you started at that, da 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 da. Yeah, I know. And that's another thing. Any past losses or past failures that you have, own them. Like, truly own them. Repeat them often to yourself. Say them until it doesn't hurt. Say it till it doesn't resonate. Say it till it doesn't make you feel like shit. Own the storyline. Own your life. Reclaim your power. Remember your role. Your role is not to live in their storyline, in their expectations. Your role is to live your life. To wield your inner power the way you want to wield it in your life.